Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and good morning to our honorable speaker and to all participants. Thank you very much for joining our workshops today entitled Enhancing Students' Learning Throughout Flipped Learning, Series 1. Okay, we have for information, we have two series of this topic. Okay, first and foremost, I would like to introduce our honorable speaker for today's session. Dr. Nurkhamimi Zainuddin is an associate professor at the Faculty of Major Language Studies, Universiti Sains Islam Malaysia, USIM. Welcome, Associate Professor Dr. Nurkhamimi, to our workshop. He has a PhD in Computer Assisted Language Learning from International Islamic University Malaysia. His research focus is on teaching Arabic as a second language and technology enhanced pedagogy. He was also the Deputy Chairman of the Malaysian E-Learning Council for Public Universities, MIPTA, and he is currently the editor of International Journal of Language Education and Applied Linguistics, recipient of USIM Excellent Service Award for the year 2016 and 2018, and Outstanding Open Educational Resources OER Award 2017. Actively involved in numerous researches in the area of open and flexible learning. Instead, he joined his own term which is FLOOC, Foreign Language Open Online Course, by adapting the concept of learning buffet. Alright, so without further ado, I would like to invite Associate Professor Dr. Nurkhamimi Hishari. And for participant information, if you have any question, please do not hesitate to unmute your microphone, or you can state in the chat room. I think that's all the introduction for Dr. Nurkhamimi. So over to you, Doctor.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Nur Mazalina binti Ghazali. Respected my colleagues, Dr. Daya Azra binti Awamat, and not to forget all the participants for this Enhancing Student Learning Throughout Flipped Learning Series 1. So actually we have two series. This one would be our first series. And another series would be the series number 2, which is next week, I guess, on Wednesday. So bear in mind and bear with me, inshallah, for the first series, we will discuss and share more about how do we prepare, okay, before we are we enter the world of flipped learning or flipped classroom. All right, because some of us they would like to apply this strategy A, strategy B, strategy C, and strategy D, but they don't really know, they don't really acknowledge, they don't really aware about the environment, the student preferences, the learning styles, the infrastructure, and so on and so forth, right? Okay, so I would like to share my slide first. And inshallah, the nature of my workshop would be the two-way communication. All right. So I'm not the one who will do the talk alone. So from time to time, from slide to slide, I will always ask questions and responses from the participants. So feel free. Please do not hesitate to ask, to stop me, to pause me, to replay, to rewind me, okay, if you want to, if you would like to. And as mentioned by Madam or Dr. Nomazlina just now, if you want to participate in the discussion, you may use your chat box, okay? You may type your question, your concern, your sharing, your moments, or you may just unmute your mic and just tell us whatever you have in your mind, all right? So my name is Nurkhamimi Zainuddin, as mentioned by the chairperson just now. I'm from Faculty of Major Language Studies in USIM. So for those who like to get in contact with me, you may log on to drhamimi.com. So there are various of types of my publication, my portfolios, and also my open education resources, either from SlideShare, from YouTube, from Instagram, or even from Facebook. All right, so I would like all participants to introduce yourself again using padlet.com/drhamimi/FLBL. Okay, padlet.com/drhamimi/FLBL. So this is what I did in my class, because now it is almost 2 years. We have not reached our student yet, even for face-to-face. So this is for our first class when, let's say, we have more than 100 student or 200 student in our class for math lecture. Normally, if we like to conduct our introduction for 200 students, will take more than 2 hours. But using a Padlet, this kind of the digital wall, including Padlet.com, we can get to know each other with our student less than 10 minutes. Because in less than 10 minutes, we can use this kind of digital wall. Student can share their stories, they can share their pictures and their introduction. So when we acknowledge our student, welcome Dr. Su, welcome Dr. Mazlina, Puan Mazlina, they will get, this lecturer know me lah. Actually not. We are not, but when we address our student in our class, our participant, they will see like, oh, okay lah. Next time I would be much, I would be aware more and more. Watch out, because the Dr. Hamimi already know me. Okay, right. Dr. Daya Azra, okay, from Faculty of Engineering, I guess, from UNIMAS. Welcome, Doctor. Dr. Gabriel, okay. If I pronounce it right, Dr. Gabriel or Gabriele? Dr. Gabriel, right?
Gabriele.
Gabriele.
Yes. If you
So
go, if you go by the original pronunciation, it's Gabriele. But
okay. So I can call you Dr. G or Dr. Gab.
It's okay. Yeah, I can.
Sometimes people will, if we call by the names that they really love, their nickname, they will feel much closer to the teachers, to the educators, right? Okay, welcome Dr. Gabriele from Faculty of Medicine and Health Sciences, mashallah. Okay, so I guess the rest of the participants can share your introduction and your short biodata and your picture later on, because we don't like to take much time on this. So the reason why I use this Padlet.com because we can easily share our biodata using the chat box just now, but seamlessly I would like to introduce and share more and more tools, okay, because this is not a Web 2.0 tools workshop. This is a flip learning. So seamlessly, I would share, I'll rather share some of the tools that we can use for our flip learning. So this is one of them, okay, which is Padlet.com. All right, Dr. Khatijah Yaman from Faculty of Medicine and Health Sciences. Alhamdulillah. So we have from FUSK, or Faculty of Medicine and Health Sciences, because in the series number 2, I have, I think, 1 or 2 videos, okay, related to medicine on how they do or how they did the flip learning or flip classroom in their setting in Singapore. So let me just start with some citation or quotation from Imam al-Shafi'i. He mentioned about all humans are dead, except those who have knowledge. And all those who have knowledge are asleep, like me, except those who do good deeds. Ngantuk, And those who do good deeds are deceived, except those who are sincere, like all of you. And those who are sincere are always in a state of worry. So because all of you are sincere enough, all of you feel perhaps some of us feel deceived. So we are in a state of worry. Worry of what? Worry of our students. Worry of our um, uh, new generation. So because of this kind of worry, we are always in a state of worry. That's why we feel sincere and we would like to upgrade our knowledge. We would like to refresh. We would like to learn, relearn, learn, unlearn, and relearn. Okay, so I guess this kind of workshop is not just about me sharing about my expertise, about my knowledge, but I will gain more and more knowledge from all the participants too, right? Okay, sage on the stage. This is kind of phrase that we are familiar. We always heard about sage on the stage. So right now in our conventional setting, okay, the lecturer will stand in front of the class, in front of the lecture theater, in front of the tutorial class, okay, give lecture 1 hour, 2 hour non-stop, okay. So this is what we call as sage on the stage. But right now, I can see we are still doing that, okay, using Microsoft Teams, using Zoom, WebEx, okay. So right now we are as teachers, educators and lecturers, they are still standing in front of the PC or sitting in front of their laptop, doing the same thing. Students from all over the world, from Sarawak, from Sabah, from all over Malaysia, Perak, they will sitting in front of their laptop, listening to our lectures. All right, so the first question, you might respond, all of participants, you might respond to my concern or my question using the chat box, okay? Do you feel that we are still what we call quote unquote sage on the stage, but virtually? If you agree with me, yes, why? And if you are not agreeing with me, if you don't agree with me, tell me why. Right, so please use the chat box. So do you agree with me, or do you, if you don't agree with me, tell me why you feel so, why you think that no, I think we are not sage on stage, so we are applying some kind. Because right now, if you are referring the pictures on my right, on your right side, if teacher, we are doing the lecture, we are teaching in front of the class virtually, but our students, some of them are, playing games, sending Grab food, they are doing, Food Panda. Some of them are cycling. Oh, Dr. Mimi, I am on my bike. Saya pun tak nak jawab apa. I cannot answer. Okay, please be careful, because some of the lecturers, why you are on the bike? Right now we are in the class. You should be in your home in front of your laptop. But now we cannot. We are going speechless, right? We are just, some of us are replying, okay, be careful, be careful. Dr. Mimi, I'm sending the food to my customer. I'm doing Food Panda right now. Oh, some of us, some of the students are even fishing, fishing during class. This is not something, maybe in 2020 or 2021 we feel surprised, but 2020, I guess, in Malay we call dah tak larat nak jawab. Okay, just be careful. As long as you are attending my class, as long as you are participating in our synchronous session, that would be good for you, because you are good, you are big enough, you are a mature student. So I guess it is not for me to just do the lecture, but we are some kind of educating, some kind of tarbiyah and mentoring, okay, and coaching the students. Right. Okay, from Normazina, yes, I agree with you. Okay, right, from Jonka, I think no, because there is no direct two-way communication. Oh, yes, correct. Because so this is kind of a click, one-way communication. There is no two-way communication. When we call Ahmad, are you there, Ahmad? Yes. No, yes. Sometimes the connection is when we ask them to, switch on their video, they reply back, we cannot, sir, sorry, madam, sorry, doctor, we cannot open our video because the line is not so good. So I will reply your concern, your question in the chat box or in the WhatsApp group. Okay. Right. So I guess there is no right and wrong. Okay. The question that I have I'm asking just now about a sage on the stage. So actually there is no right and wrong. Maybe perhaps some of the teachers, some of the educators, they are facing the same scenario, right? So the flip learning is all about not just flipping your classroom. Okay. Some of the teachers, some of the educators, when we talk about flip classroom, they feel about, watch video first and then do activities. Watch video first and then do the think, pair, and share. No. It's not. Flip classroom is not just about flipping your class 360 degrees, but it's all about transforming the group kind of the learning setting to the individual setting. So flip learning and this workshop, the benefit of this workshop, the main objective of this workshop is how we can enhance the student learning, okay, through the flip learning setting, right? Okay. From Dr. Su, there is a two-way communication, but limited to only question and answer, not really active participation or discussion. Yeah. When we ask one question and would be one answer from the student, right? If we don't ask question, they don't answer. So from there, I can really conclude a little bit if that because right now maybe we are teaching more than 2 classes, maybe 3 classes, right? Class A is very good. When we ask question, they even answer and they even ask more question, right? Class B, maybe they are so, malu-malu, feel shy. When we ask question, they don't answer. If you ask them to ask question, there's no yes, understand, there's no question. And class C, no voice at all, right? So actually we cannot one size does not fit all. Okay, one size does not fit all. So from class A, maybe perhaps we ask them, we can use some kind of they call it as inquiry-based learning. Inquiry-based learning, whereby we show them how to ask. Rather than ask question. Who like to ask question? Okay, put up your hand, show hands. So rather than you just ask them to ask question, you should show them on how to ask or how to ask question. Because there's one book, it's a New York bestseller on inquiry-based learning, or so it guides us as educator on how to guide our student to ask question. Sometimes they have question, but they don't know how to ask, or they don't know how to ask in the educational setting or educationally speaking. Okay. Sometimes if you ask, sir, doctor, what is sage on the stage? What is sage on the stage? Sometimes we feel that it's this is kind of silly question, but they don't really understand about it. So, but perhaps they don't really know on how to ask about the question, right? Okay, so from Dr. Kuriati, yes, if we as lecturers still deliver lecture with conventional method as in classroom. Okay, so if we are copying, copy and paste the conventional setting. So normally it will be another stage on the stage, but in a virtual setting. Yeah, so there's no right and wrong. So the motive or the modus operandi of this workshop is on how we can transform, or we learn about a new paradigm on how we can transform the sage on the stage. Yes, this is, I don't say that sage on the stage is not good, because some of nature, because we are referring to the nature of the subjects. Some of the subject, okay, like from history, from social sciences, perhaps we still need the lecture part. We still need the lecture part, but how many percentage? That's why in blended learning, we have 70-30, we have 60-40, we have 50-50, or even in some kind of hands-on faculty, like in engineering, in medicine, in sciences, in pure sciences, they even reduce the blended learning to 80-20, whereby 20 theories, but 80%, the rest of the percentage will be coming from hands-on activities, right? Okay, from Dr. G. Dr. G, many students are shy to ask in front of the class. After the lecture, they come and ask personally. Yes, this is what I call as a synchronous Q&A. Sometimes when we ask in the class, 2 hours lecture, 1 hour lecture, 30 minutes lecture, if we ask question, they don't prepare, they are not ready to ask question. So when we flip our classroom, before they come to the class, okay, 2 days or 3 days before the class time. So we ask them to refer to the diary, to the article, journal articles, to the videos, to the podcast, to the infographics. So when the class time arrives, this is where we end. And a very good structured instruction during the, we don't ask them just to watch the video, but normally we give them simple and clear instruction. Okay, this is the video from YouTube. This is a 10 minutes video. So please focus from minute 5 to minute 8, and please stay and please we will discuss about these 3 characteristics of blah 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 metabolism or microorganism in our class. And please, if you have question, kindly ask me in the class. So when class time begin, we can just start. All right, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and a very good morning. So 3 days back, you have been given a video, a podcast, a FAQ, a diary, a journal article to be read, to be watched, and I ask you to focus more on the gist of the videos, the nectar or the body of the content of the video, which is about mechanism. Okay, now kindly Ahmad, okay, if you have any question now, please do ask me in the chat box. So that, okay, we supply them with some kind of the information, so when they go or they enter your class, we will focus more on the activities. But right now, I can see most of the class, most of the online class, fill with their. When the class time begins, then this is the time when you ask your student to watch the video, to study about, so they don't have the ample time to digest the gist of the video, the gist of the FAQ. So the question, that's why after the lecture, they come and ask personally, right? Because they don't have much ample time to study about the educational resources. Okay. Right, so this is a learning pyramid, okay, from National Training Laboratories. So according to them, okay, the knowledge retention rates, if you lecture in class, do some lecture, yes, it's good, but the knowledge retention rates will remain as high as low as 5% only. If you ask them to read, they will increase to 10%. If you support them by audiovisual components or resources, they will increase to 20%. If you do some demonstration, or if you ask them to be a co-pilot, okay, not you as an educator to do the demonstration, but you ask your student to do the demonstration, the knowledge retention rates will increase up to 30%. And if you do some kind of breakout room in WebEx, I can see we can do some kind of breakout rooms, right? So if you do some kind of discussion group, the knowledge retention rates will be 50%, and practice by doing 70%, and last but not least, teach others. So flipped learning, actually, we would like to encourage our student to do the discussion group, to do the practice by doing, and to teach others, and it will be facilitated by the lecturers. Okay. So if you ask at the bachelor degree level, or even at master and PhD level, you can ask your student to conduct the class, because you have supplied them the supplement of the resources is quite enough before the class, with the proper instruction. Okay, A, B, C, and D. You can ask your student to conduct the class. Even for tutorial, you can choose some of the students that you feel that can guide your student to conduct the tutorial. But we as a learning coach, a learning facilitator, or even as a lecturer, we can guide them, which is and we normally we entertain all kinds of concern, all kinds of responses from the student. At the end of the class, at the end of the tutorial class, we will give them the good answer, or even the answer acceptable in your field. All right. So flipped classroom, I think I don't have much time to talk about the definition of flipped classroom. So this is just illustration, right? We don't flip our class upside down in our kuliah, right? We don't flip UNIMAS upside down. Okay. The building is sturdy and steady, just like that. But I would like to emphasize and focus more on 9 misconceptions about the flipped classroom, because as a human being, we always love to hear and to digest the trivia, right? Okay. So 9 misconceptions about the flipped classroom. First one is just a latest buzzword. This is another buzzword in e-learning, right? Okay. This is my first conception, but it is not. Okay. So actually, some of us, this is just a new trend in e-learning, but it is not, because flipped classroom has been implemented not just in the West, but in the East. We also, I think most of us already in this kind of setting, but we don't label it as flipped classroom. Sometimes in our school, in our elementary school, in our secondary school, right? In our primary and secondary school, some of our gurus, our ustazah, our teachers, they ask us, okay, next week we will talk about algebra. So I would like all of you to study chapter 8, okay, from this page to this page. So next week we will discover this. This is a preparatory. This is an introduction of a flipped learning or flipped classroom. But at that time, perhaps, or most probably, we don't label it as a flipped classroom or flipped learning. All right, from Dr. Kuriati, is flipped classroom sub of heutagogy? For me, I don't think so, but we must, or we shall include the heutagogy of a self-determined learning in flipped classroom. Because heutagogy is all about the self-determined learning, whereby students have the autonomy, or we give them some kind of the autonomy. Students have their own autonomous, right? They will decide what they want to learn. They will decide what kind of teaching approaches they are preferring to, what kind of assessment that really suit with their needs. And how they would learn the materials themselves without with the minimal facilitation from the lecturers. So this is all about heutagogy. So perhaps we may have, if I have more time, I will share a little bit about heutagogy, because for me, in order for us to jump to heutagogy, we need to master the pedagogy or pedagogy first, peer-to-peer first. Before you isolate your student to heutagogy. Right now, students are isolated in their house, but we just skip to heutagogy without even going to the pedagogy or pedagogy, which is peer-to-peer. We need to train them to peer-to-peer, to pedagogy or peers-to-peers first, right? Okay, from in a big group in class, and then one-to-one or one-to-many or many-to-one. Then after they are mastering this kind of pedagogy, then we can jump to the heutagogy. Right now, we just go to heutagogy. They feel lonely at home. They don't know what to do. They don't know how to react, how to communicate with the materials. Okay, yeah. And some of the lecturers, just Google, Google. And then they will ask us back, Google what? What to Google? Dr. Hamimi, you ask me to Google here and there, but what to Google? It is some kind of in English proverb, and they call it don't give your student, don't give fish, because tomorrow they will ask for another fish. Okay, but give them fishing rod instead, right? But right now in 2022, I really feel that if you ask them, if you give them fishing rod, they're still coming back with no fish. Why? If you're giving them fishing rod, okay, to fish in the sea, they're still coming back without no fish. Why? Because they don't know where to fish, when, why, and what. But if you are giving them with a good manual, we give them the fishing rod with the manual. Okay, Ahmad, from 5 a.m. to 7 a.m., go to spot A, fish there. Use this kind of lure or umpan, okay? This type of worm or this type of small fish. And after 7 o'clock, don't wait. Change to site B. Change to spot B. Okay, don't wait there. Okay, after 7 o'clock, change to site B and use this kind of lure or this kind of small fish. And student will come back very happy with some kind of features. Same goes to our education setting. Okay, Ahmad. Okay, class. I would like all of you to go to academia.edu or ResearchGate or to Science Direct or journal in your field, Journal of Biomolecular, Journal of Anatomy, British Journal of Microorganism. Okay, there are 10 big or 10 top journals in our field. I would like all of you to browse all these kind of 10 journals and please focus to the latest edition of the journal. Okay, from January to March 2022 only. So student will be very happy rather than, oh, Google lah. Which journal, doctor? Alah, you cari lah. You can student, I can lecturer. You are the student, I am the lecturer. So what's supposed to do the searching thing, the browsing thing? You, right? So student will be upset lah with your responses. But now, oh, the instruction from Dr. Gabriel is very, very clear and precise and concise. Okay, this journal from this to this. So student, you will at the same time we will facilitate the student. So pedagogy combined with the pedagogy, it will be give some kind of impact to your flipped classroom, I might say. Okay. Okay, misconception number 3 is all or none. You either flip your class or you don't. Oh, okay, very, very ganas this one. Okay, flip your class or you don't. Now you see or now you don't. It must be judged as being either right or wrong. So actually in our teaching and learning approaches, there is no right and wrong. Okay, because our student is dynamic. Our student dynamic. Maybe for this semester, A10112 or 121, for this October intake, student, the paradigm is kind of we have this kind of student, but maybe for this March intake, there will be another set of student. So you cannot just copy and paste your teaching and learning approaches and strategies to every batches, right? It's only good for certain subjects. Okay. Flipped classroom only for social science lah, but not for pure sciences. Okay. So I've seen even yesterday I've browsed article and papers from Science Direct, from Scopus, even from World of Science journals. Actually, we can find flipped classroom or flipped learning in every field, in nursing, in pharmacy, in Islamic studies, in engineering. You can find on your own. Okay, flipped learning plus or and you use a Boolean search. Okay, engineering, A&D, capital letters, and flipped learning. You might find a new articles related to flipped learning or flipped classroom for your field. Okay, number 6, you have video yourself lecturing in order to flip you have to video yourself lecturing in order to flip your classroom. This is why Dr. Dayang, Puan Mazlina or Dr. Mazlina, some of the lecturers feel nak kena video, you need to video yourself lecturing. Sometimes they feel devastated or they feel frustrated because when we talk about free classroom, it's all about you videoing yourself lecturing. Actually, it's not. Okay, you can. Okay, later I will share with all of you. It's not just about you are using the fresh content from yourself. We can even do some kind of curation. Curating the education resources from Oxford, from MIT, from UK, from US, even from your joint venture parties. If you have JV with some other universities in Malaysia or outside Malaysia, you can use their videos. Okay, if it's credited, you give credit. You have to give the credit to the authors. So you share the very good video or very good learning resources with your student. So this is not actually about you videoing yourself lecturing, but you can always creating and share some other videos, some other education resources from other lecturers in the world. Okay, next, flip content has to be in video format. Another misconception. Video format, video. It's not just about video. Everything, maybe textbook, PDF, audio, illustration, demonstration, or even in architecture, the models, right? The VR video, virtual reality, the mixed reality, the augmented reality. Okay, everything. Okay, included in educational resources can be your flip content. Okay, next, there's no evidence that it works. Right now, as I mentioned before, you can see maybe some of the cases is the case study cannot be implemented in your setting, but some of them can. So it's all sometimes we can say it's not just about a try and error, but it is on the way that your student would love to have to learn about, to study about your content. And last but not least, teachers or lecturers have to create their own flipped learning content. The answer is yes and no, because as I mentioned just now, some of the lecturers can even curate or share the learning or educational resources from other lecturers. But sometimes if you would like to, like we have a MOOC or MOOC, massive open online courses. Sometimes in Malaysia, normally we will emphasize more of the content from the lecturers who are teaching the subject. Why? Because we would like to inject some kind of a local flavor. If you would like to have some kind of a local flavor, some of the students feel, oh, if Dr. Dayang herself is doing the learning content, so some of the students of Dr. Dayang will get interested and will get hooked by the content. Right? So if you don't have more time, this is why we would we always collaborate, not just of producing of publishing new journal articles, but we must collaborate also with our colleagues to create the learning content or learning resources. So there are some kind of 9 misconceptions. So if you have any responses, guys, participants, regarding this kind of 9 of misconception, or if you would like to add more, okay, to the list, you are most welcome. Okay, I actually we have more than 9, but I have shortlisted only 9 that always oh, it's a buzzword, it's a kind of trend. You have to video yourself lecturing this, so I just compile 9 only for this presentation. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, in 60 seconds, these things that happen on internet every 60 seconds, not in every day, but in 60 seconds. Okay, my short question would be, what does this infographic reflect? What can you understand from this infographic?
I think the most website visited by the person or individual or the students, it is, Doctor?
Yes, correct. Okay, knowledge exchange, right? Correct.
The favorite page or website also being visited by the student in order to obtain the information.
Okay, correct. Seems like everyone is living in the cloud now. Okay. Right, information overload. Oh, mashallah. Social media. Okay, the power of social media. People are always online. Okay, good. From me, myself, from my standpoint, I can see that students are ready. Okay, students are ready for flipped learning or flipped classroom. Okay, most of the lectures are ready to, or but some of us are not. Okay, from this, yes, people always go online, and then we are 24/7 because we can see 70,000 hours of video content watched, around 700,000 hours of video watch. And some of the students, if I come to class using Microsoft Teams or even using Zoom, some of the students, somehow they will ask some kind of the surprise question, like, your lecture, Dr. Mimi, can I find it on YouTube? So if the answer is yes, most probably Hamimi will be ignored for the rest of the day. Right? If I can find a better video than the Hamimi's lecture just now, and for sure Hamimi will be ignored for the rest of the day. But the thing is, from here also, that's why I mentioned before about the videos. If rather than we are giving the videos for them to watch, we can ask our student. Normally, I will ask my student. Let's say I'm teaching Arabic right now. Let's say we have some kind of topic in Arabic grammar. So normally I will ask my student, okay, next week we will learn about this topic. So this have shortlisted 10 videos, okay, regarding this kind of they call it as skills, listening skills, or maybe speaking skills, reading skills, or writing skills. So instead, I'm searching for the videos. I ask my student to search the video. So they will compete with each other to find a better video. From the video, I will ask them to watch the video, and we will discuss in class about a certain topic in that video. Okay. So this kind of a flipped learning that I'm introduced right now. All right, from Dr. Ibrahim, use the current information in class. Yes, alhamdulillah. Great. From Dr. Kuriati, utilize the in-trend tools. Okay, good. because right now our task is not just about educators and lecturers, right? Entrepreneurs, motivators, researchers. Is there any additional responses from the participants? How can we make the classroom as dynamic as the world around us? So actually, from my standpoint, from Dr. Ron Aldrino Chan, okay, use tools such as Kahoot, etc., to engage and communicate. Okay, so the keyword is here to engage and communicate. So right now, how do we know that the world around us is dynamic? Because we engage and communicate, right? So this is how we can make our classroom as dynamic as the world around us, by communicating with them, ask them what they do, what they really need, okay, in our class. From Mazlina, use the technology apps and education tools to engage students. From Dr. Su, give students more space to explore the knowledge and learn about themselves. Yes, and learning should be beyond the courses. The course outline information. Yes. Okay. Now we have 14 weeks. This is our LO1, CLO1, CLO2, CLO3. And at the program level, we have PEO and PO, right? Program educational outcome. So we must go beyond that. So in order for us to prepare our students to be as dynamic as the world around us. Okay, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Okay, so this is what happened in UNIMAS, I guess, just now, right now. Okay, UNIMAS 21st Century Learners. Okay, if you can refer on your left side, it's all about the hierarchy, whereby the student, normally, they will go by hierarchy. They will ask, the student will ask lecturers, you have your dean, deputy dean, and the top of the mountain is the rectors, the vice chancellor, TNCA, vice rector, and so on and so forth. And the problems that students are having right now is whereby they cannot get a simple or fast response or answers from the lecturers, right? Sometimes they will ask you, because right now you don't know where they are studying, when they are studying, how they are studying, and whom they are studying with right now. If they ask you a question at 2:30 a.m. in the morning, okay, normally most of us will not entertain or will not answer to that question, right? But right now, if you are referring to the right side of this picture, which I coined it as hierarchy, whereby when students ask a question, they need some responses from the lecturers at 2:30 a.m. in the morning, 4:30 a.m. in the morning. If we don't respond fast enough to the question that students are asking us, normally they will refer to some other resources, right? Okay lah, I tanya YouTube lah. Okay, I just go to Google lah. Okay, they don't wait for you. So in flipped learning setting, we entertain this kind of setting whereby we give the autonomy to the peers, to the students, to the friends, to students. And in my class, normally, the rule of thumb in our first class, or I will mention in our class, okay, all questions by the student are welcoming question and concern from the student 24/7, inshallah. Okay, but the answer and the responses will be coming from the student themselves. Sometimes they ask me, Dr. Hamimi, I would like to ask about what are the main components in abstract or in problem statements, okay, in research methodology, for example, okay, what are the main components in writing an abstract, in writing a problem statement, okay? Normally I will share, okay, guys, the floor is all yours. So normally the question, because we encourage the other students not to just spoon fed by us, find this to wait for the solution or for the response from Dr. Hamimi, but they are themselves we are giving the we are do some kind of empowerment. Okay, we empower our student to give responses, and so my class, even in 2:30 a.m., 4:30 a.m., they are actively discussing about their subject matter. So normally I will put my group, WhatsApp group for class in a mute setting. Okay, so there is no ding 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 click 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 click. There is no that sound at 2:30 in the morning. And when I wake up after subuh, I will check. Okay, congratulations, blah 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 blah. So all responses are good and very positive. But okay, I do see that the responses from Faisal is quite good. Okay, you can use the responses. The components are here and here. Thank you very much for participating. For those who participate and giving responses. Okay, good, excellent. And of course, in our next class, we will discuss a little bit about this in the first 5 minutes of our class. So student will there's a continuing. Okay, continuing. You are continuing what we have discussed in our synchronous discussion in our synchronous class. Would it be also good to set boundary, especially with respect to day and time? Student asking question, example at 2 in the morning, as I believe students also need to respect personal time or individual. Yes, for Dr. Ron, I do believe that yes, the student also need to respect the personal time of individual. But right now, let's say in my class, we have our international student, okay, from Arab, from Middle East, whereby maybe 2 a.m. in the morning for us is not 2:30 a.m. in the morning for them. So when we set this kind of boundaries, yes, it is good for us, alhamdulillah, but not good for them. So normally they will ask, okay, we have this time, this is kind of morning in Qatar, it's a morning time in Yemen, in Oman. That's why we ask in the morning, but maybe it's a 2:30 a.m. in the morning for you, Dr. Hamimi. So for me, yes, I agree with you. We need also to advise our students about the boundaries, okay? But for my class, I didn't set that kind of boundaries. I let them ask because of the time setting. But the question will not be answered by me. Will be answered by student, and I'll always put mute. So the WhatsApp group, it will be actively running. So when I have time, then I will check and then I will give my response. Okay. Yes, learning is important. However, health also is very, very important. Yes, I agree with you 100%. But this is what we call as hierarchy, whereby, let's say, I believe in if you are student, sometimes because of this kind of boundaries, we don't want to ask our lecturers because of that kind of boundaries. Because maybe some of the students, I think most of them they are not studying in the morning, but 2 a.m., 3 a.m., 4:30 a.m. in the morning for student is kind of normal life for them, studying in front at their home or at their house. But I agree with you. Yes, learning is important. Some kind of the boundaries. This kind of advice or when to private message. Yes, private message. Dr. Hamimi, can I ask something 2:30 in the morning? No. No mercy at all. Private message, no, it's a no for me. But in the WhatsApp group, in class group, normally I will not put some kind of restriction. You may ask wherever 27 or whenever or wherever you want. All right. Okay, so in 2017, I have some kind of idea of it is a beginning of a IR 4.0. So I just feel that the IR 4.0 will build some kind of the Uber University, okay? And because of the COVID-19, we can see right now that it is some kind of a reality. apa yang saya fikirkan pada 2017 itu benar-benar terjadi pada tahun 2022. What I think about Uber or Grab University in 2017 has been a reality right now. Why? Okay, you can see we have in Grab, we have, or in Uber, or even in Foodpanda, we have Grab as an agency, we have drivers and riders, we have customers, and we have mobile apps. And right now, university is just about the agency. Some of you might agree with me, some of you might not agree. Okay, it's okay, no problem. And lecturers, macam tak baik lah kita kata lecturers are drivers or riders. But right now, the function is all about the same. Whereby, student as a customers, students will order the learning materials using LMS, using Moodle, using WhatsApp, using Telegram. So lecturers, we will deliver this kind of learning materials to our customers, okay, quote unquote students, using these mobile apps. So this, maybe some of lecturers not agree with me. Oh, Dr. Mimi, how come you call us drivers? Of course, lecturers are lecturers, but the concept here, okay? Student, I will not agree that if you call students as customer, they are not customer, they are students. Okay, but the concept. So, right now, if you can see, universities building are left empty. Okay, maybe 50% or 60% students are coming back to university, but for 40% or 50%, rest of them are still at home. So this is what I wrote in 2017. Okay, but I do mention, okay, the last paragraph, robot tak mampu ganti tugas manusia. Robot will not replace you, no problem. But if you teach like a robot, and if you teach like a robot, then they will replace you. Okay.
Doctor.
Yes.
Doctor, I think I would agree with your statement in the previous slide. It seems like we are using learning mobiles app, right, in order to communicate with the student. So the concept of Grab University, because I think right now we, like you mentioned, that we have like international student. So some of international student having difficulties in terms of language, Doctor. So some of them, they are able to write in English. However, they have difficulties in communicate in English. So right now, what is the mechanism that we as a lecturer, in order to communicate, in order to facilitate, and this one in the context of supervision, because we have like PhD and master in mentoring. So for your information, we have like China student. So they having difficulties in terms of communication, but they are good in writing. So as a lecturer, we are changed in terms of our supervision process. So we are using all the apps like WeChat, email only, and then all the apps that we have in order to communicate with them and guiding them. Instead of we are communicating using verbal. That is one of the example that I would like to share with you, Doctor. Thank you.
All right. Okay. Thank you very much, Dr. Mazlina. So, if I may share a little bit about my experience, because I have right now perhaps 15 to 16 Arabic students under my supervision, and maybe perhaps more than 15 already graduated. So, first year, I still remember 2015 when I got my first student from Libya, Jordan, and Oman. Three students. At that time, I still at my young age of lecturing, and first time be the supervisor of the student. I faced the same constraint and challenges that you mentioned just now, Doctor. So what I did, I built a WhatsApp group, okay, these first three, and then when they ask one question, when I answer, the second student and the third student will get some kind of benefit. Doctor, how to write what kind of length of abstract? 350 to 500, right? When I say right, this is the sample. So the second student and third student will get benefit as well. Rather than you are entertaining the same question coming from the first, second, and third student. So when the semester 2, semester 3, after 3 years, I get one of my student graduated. So this kind of a graduated student guide the newbies. Okay. How many, Doctor, soal or question, how many, what is the length of the fact? Okay, yalla, I was saying normally, yalla, Abdurrahman, yalla. Abdurrahman will answer this kind of question, and normally the answer, we will save. Some of the student will forward the answer back, okay, after 2 years or after 3 years. Okay, as long as we did not change the format of the thesis in USAM, the component is all about the same. Okay, the abstract. So in terms of supervision, now after 7 years of being in USAM, all the forms, okay, for you to qualifying tests, for Viva, students will do all the work. For this, okay, doctor, what are the tips for Viva? Okay, Abdurrahman, and then Mai Isa Salim, and another one, Fashaikha. Okay, they have done their Viva. Please share your experience. They will share A to A, B, C, D, E, F, G. So the newbies, when they newly registered, they will get some kind of benefits. So this is what I did lah. Right.
Thank you, Doctor, for the sharing.
Okay.
Sometimes we need a sharing from other experience, so that we can gain some ideas in order for us to communicate with the student, especially those who having challenges in terms of communication, in terms of language, right, Doctor?
Yes, and even more, some of my students, they are using their colloquial language, not the standard Arabic language. So from there, if I describe or give some responses, they cannot understand. They cannot understand well. They understand maybe 50% to 70%, because some of them are more convenient with the colloquial, or we call it in Malay as a bahasa pasar, colloquial Arabic. So when I respond A, B, C, D, sometimes they reply back, yes, I understand, but I still cannot understand about this, and this. Okay, so I asked students from their country, like Oman, okay, to describe or to explain a little bit about this, and then, oh, okay, now I understand. So from there, myself, I learned a new phrase. So next student from Oman coming and registering in our university, so I know what to do, and I know which phrase to use. Okay, colloquially. Okay, so so we are learning from our student too. All right, the 7 habits highly effective educators who use technology. So I guess all the participants in this banquet or in this workshop will be some kind. Inshallah, after finish this workshop, you will be effective educators, inshallah, who use technology. Okay, the 7 habits. The first one, always start with the why, not with the way, with the why. Sorry, typo. Highly effective educators who use technology always have a reason for using new technology tools. That's why I always ask my colleagues, if you want to use Kahoot, why? If you want to use Padlet, why? If you want to use WebEx, if you want to use Facebook, why? So highly effective educators always start with the why. Whether it saves them time, okay, improves learning outcomes, or helps with lesson planning. Not just because Dr. Dayang asked me to do so. Not just because Dr. Mazlina introduced Kahoot to me, no. But it's always about save them time, improves learning outcomes, or help with lesson planning, right? This is the first habit. The second one, malleable and can easily adapt. So highly effective educators who use technology always put themselves malleable. That means you can absorb and adopt and adapt new technology, new approaches, new strategies, because technology is constantly changing and the classroom environment will be drastically different in not just in 2 years, in 2 months, in 5 months, in 6 months. Okay, the classroom environment will be drastically different. In one workshop in Universiti Malaya in 2016, I throw up some kind of question, a burning, flaming or burning question to Universiti Malaya for the new staff, for newly appointed staff. The question would be, let's say, na'uzubillah min zalik, if your faculty caught on fire, would you continue your class or your business as usual? 2016, before COVID. Okay. Some of them, of course, cannot lah. We will postpone our class 2 weeks lah after the building get repaired, and then we will continue our class. But right now, not just caught on fire, but we have been given a very unique virus, which is COVID-19. But Alhamdulillah, we can continue our class of business as usual. Okay. All right. Habit number 3, embrace change. Most educators who use technology today are innovators or early adopters. The world hates change, yet it is the only thing that has brought progress. Okay, so we need to embrace change. Better late than never. Perhaps some of us we are not easily can embrace change, but this is some of the this change normally will bring some progress to our learning outcomes. Okay, number 4. I guess people or lecturers from UNIMAS always would love to share some more, because technology has opened the door for collaboration beyond the university wall. Knowledge is power, but it is also free. Okay, in some cases they are not free. Okay, but most of the time knowledge is free, and technology lovers share best practices which benefits everyone. So don't hesitate to share. Some of the lecturers they feel some kind of shy because nanti they will find my errors. They will find. Don't worry, you just share from the comments, from the revision, from our cliques. From there, we will learn and we will polish our learning content from time to time. So don't feel shy to share, because normally highly effective educators who use technology, they love to share and share some more. Okay, habit number 5. Think win-win-win-win situation. Not just win-win, but it's a win-win-win-win. 4 wins. Okay? Because first, there's nothing better than having an administrator embrace technology that they feel about administrative stuff. Secondly, it's imperative that you show parents the value of technology. Parents, okay, win situation for parents. Thirdly, as an educator, you have to truly believe that it can impact learning outcomes. 3 wins there. And lastly, student must see the values. So when you use Kahoot, when you use a Mentimeter, when we use a Web 2.0 tools, you must make sure that we think that these 4 stakeholders will get some kind of benefit. And last, the most important thing, the students must see the value out of it. Okay, habit number 6, extremely thorough and think 2 steps ahead. Okay, highly effective educators who use technology already know the answers to any question. Susah agak ni It's very difficult to know all the answers, right? We are not professor know it all, right? Sorry. And they have concrete examples showing its effectiveness. Okay. So when normally, if you like to use some new approaches, new learning theories, we must make sure that we always find the answers of the concern for the concern, and we have concrete examples from research, from observation, showing its effectiveness. Or else people will leave you because, oh, you are talking about this and this, Dr. Hamimi, but you don't show any evidence that about its effectiveness. Okay, number 7, and last but not least, actively care, because highly effective educators typically are so excited about lesson plan idea. Okay, are you excited about your lesson plan idea? Ladies and gentlemen, and thinking of ways to engage their classroom. We always thinking how to engage with my student, how to engage the class. And they embrace technology not because it makes their job easier. This is not our answer, but because it allows them to make a greater impact. Okay, so we change right now. Why you use Kahoot? Not just because it make my job easier, but it allows me to make a greater impact for stakeholders, parents, administrative staff, for students, and also for the university and for the faculty. Next time, inshallah, when we conduct the workshop face-to-face, normally I will bring some candies or some kind of sagu hati lah for those who win this Kahoot. So for virtual session, normally maybe you can redeem from Kam. Okay, 8. Okay, can we start? You ready?
Yes, Doctor.
Okay, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. I think we have 10 or 11 questions regarding learning preferences. Okay, so this kind of Kahoot, you can also use Kahoot for your flipped learning or flipped classroom, whereby prior entering the class, you can ask your student to do this Kahoot game, okay, for them to get some kind of preliminary information before or prior entering your class. Okay, so you can set in Kahoot not as a synchronous but asynchronous, so they can use their own pace, like quizzes, right? They can answer from wherever they want, because right now I'm using Kahoot for synchronous. So normally when we finish lah everything, but Kahoot also entertains some kind of like synchronous, like quizzes, so students can use their pace to answer all questions. Okay, 9. Okay, we start. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Okay, question number 1. Which learning style takes a lot of notes so they can see the words spoken? Okay. Visual learners, yes. Visual learners, normally they takes a lot of notes so they can see the words that are spoken. Visual learners, right? Okay. Auditory learners and none of the words. So that's why if you can see our student in virtual setting, normally we will not see that. But in our conventional setting, those who are taking notes, including myself, because I'm the visual learners, sometimes all the lectures, listen to me, put down your pen. If the student can answer you back, he or she will reply, teacher, doctor, I'm a visual learner, you know. Right now, maybe perhaps the student, they don't know what to answer. when you ask your student, put down your pen and listen to me, they don't know, okay, they just put down their pen. But if they can answer you back, they will reply, I am a visual learner. So when you speak, I will take a lot of notes, okay, to see the word I have spoken. Okay. So this is very important because when we apply pedagogy, when we apply our flipped learning, our flipped classroom, we need to know, acknowledge our student preferences first. Okay, right? All right. I don't know who's A, who's K, who's AB, NBG, NDA. Okay, well done. Okay, next question. Which learner may not study well at the desk? Okay, kinesthetic learners. Normally, student from medicine, from dentistry, from engineering. Normally, they may not study well at the desk, but somehow in our class, Ali, sit down. Fatima, sit down. If they can reply us back, they will mention. They will reply, I am a kinesthetic learner, Dr. Hamimi. How about that? Okay.
Mimi,
Yes, please.
just nak tanya, both A and C is which one?
A and C.
Because dekat sini dia tak ada A and C ya. A, B, C.
I think they're using symbol, right? Oh, both A and C. Okay. All right. Error. Thank you, doctor. Okay, I will revise this question. Bukan both A and C lah. I will put some other answer lah. Not both A and C because there's no A and C, right? Maybe visual learners A, maybe auditory learners C. Okay. Right. Thank you, Dr. Azhar.
Welcome.
All right. Oh, Masya Allah. A, still there? 1787. Okay, next. Question number 3. These learners like to talk to a partner while they study. Okay. These learners like to talk to a partner while they study. So auditory learners ni, they always would like to find their partners while they study. So in our right now, in our virtual setting, because of the COVID-19, make sure that these auditory learners, if you have detected them, okay, ask them to find partners. Okay, let's say you may increase a little bit about your task using a peer-to-peer partner rather than individual tasks. Okay, so how can we know? How do we know that our students are auditory learners, are visual learners? Okay, later on, I will share you the measurement or the survey. Okay, the VARK. Because auditory learners, they always would like to converse, do some conversation, and then return back. Converse one way and then two ways. They will learn better using that kind of setting. Oh, DA ada keluar api Masya Allah, laju betul ni. Okay, AB, where's A? A, 4th place already. Okay, buckle up. Next, question number 4. These learners walk around a lot when they have to memorize something. Okay. Sebab saya dah, because I subscribe, describe a little bit about kinesthetic. Now you learn your own you learn your own lesson. Alhamdulillah. Okay, kinesthetic learners, including myself lah. I think I visual learners and I am a kinesthetic learners, tapi tak jadi engineer lah because we can see our student right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, going back and forth, go back and forth. Hey, why are you working depan belakang? If they can reply back, I'm kinesthetic learners lah, because I have to memorize something. Okay, sometimes this chair will remind me of this one. This key will remind me of this one. This particular box will remind me of this one. Okay. All right, AB is still there. All right, and MG. Next, these learners will use a highlighter to see the main idea. Even PDF, they will use highlighter. And they mark the thesis, student answer, they will use highlighter. Why? Because they are visual learners. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, if you are visual learners, I know you have your own highlighter in your pocket, right? In your desk, you have it, right, highlighter, because you are visual learners. That's why when I visit my friend, my colleagues, if I see highlighter in his office, I some kind of the bomo, you know, pawang. I know. You only how many videos you have produced? Hey, how do you know how many? Well, now I see you have a lot of highlighters in your office. I know you are a visual person, so normally you will use video for your learning purposes, right? Oh, how do you know how many? Okay, this is what educational instructional technologies and strategies is all about. Okay. So when you do flip learning, you do flip classroom, if you know your student, you know which educational resources to use lah. Rather than video, when your student did not watch don't watch your videos, you keep on blaming them, because they are not, maybe some of them or majority of them are not visual learners. Dr. Mimi, I am tactile learners lah, Dr. Mimi. I'm used to PDF. You give me PDF, I will read. 1,000 pages, I will read. But if you give me videos, 5 minutes, I cannot watch. But I'm visual learners, if you give me 1 hour videos, I can watch. But if you give me 3 pages or 2 pages of PDF, I will not read it. Okay. Masya Allah, AB still there, flaming has the highest answer streak. Oh, ni laju ni. Boleh tanya which laptop you are using right now? Which handphone, which mobile telecommunication line you are using right now? Okay, question number 6. These learners like to do hands-on activities. The key is hands-on activities. Engineering, architecture, medical, dentistry. Okay, kinesthetic. Okay, got my point already. Perhaps people lectures are coming from APSK. After this, we will have our questionnaire. You will answer the survey. Let's see if you are kinesthetic. You are kinesthetic enough or not. Okay, next. Okay, semua betul, tapi AB ni paling laju. Sebab tu dia paling atas. Saya rasa he just put her or his finger on the phone like that lah. Okay, terus answer. Okay, next. Question number 7. These learners excel when they listen to lectures. Yang ni je. These are the only person that excel when they listen to lectures. Not other than that. Okay, laju auditory learners. Okay. So if you can find majority of your class are auditory learners, then you may continue with lectures. So some of the lecturers, Hamimi, you are promoting flip learning, flip classroom, but why are you still lecture in your class? What is my answer would be? I answer, because according to my survey, 95% of the students in my class are auditory learners. Okay, all right. And auditory learners, whatever you have, okay, the way you talk, the way you lecture, your body gesture, normally they will tiru, they will imitate 100%. That's why when they present in front of you, okay, in the class, you will see some kind of imitation. Okay. Dr. Mazina, she always use, do you understand? Do you understand? And the student will also use that kind of, do you understand, class? Oh, so sorry, I am imitating Dr. Mazina. Because there are the student, the auditory learners, they will imitate to you 70 to 90%. Okay. Question number 8. These learners would rather give an oral presentation than written work. Okay. Okay, listen. Give an oral presentation than written work. Auditory learners, they always, if we ask them to write, okay, this is vice versa. Contradictory with what Dr. Mazina just now. Some of the students can write, but they cannot converse. But this is the other way around, whereby they can do oral presentation, cakap, non-stop, 24/7. But when you ask them to write an essay, they cannot do it. So this is this kind of auditory learners perspective or components. Okay. So if you have auditory learners in your class, so you might consider to have some kind of presentation. It's an oral presentation rather than written work. Okay, they know how to express themselves using audio. But if you ask them to write, normally they will get weak in this component. Okay, AB still there. Question number 9. These learners could read their notes into a recorder and then play their notes back to study. Oh, Masya Allah. Laju betul yang ni Auditory learners, okay. Normally they could read their notes into a recorder and play back notes back, their notes back to study. Administrative staff pun ada biasa. During meeting, they will put a recorder. So normally in the Senate meeting, in postgraduate meeting, when I saw a few administrative staff using a Sony recorder or even using their iPhone or using a Samsung, in my head, oh, auditory. Okay, not just student, but including myself or including yourself as a lecturer. Why we always record? Because we are auditory learners. Okay. Oh, AB, who's AB? Oh, AB has attended my workshop before. Okay, question number 10. Copying and recopying your notes help these learners to study better. Okay, copying and copying your notes. Some of the lecturers, when they produce or publish a book, they will ask your student, hey, you can refer to my books. You can refer to my book chapter. Why you are copying again and have your own kind of notes? Kita tanya kan, saya dah ada buku dah. Kenapa you buat nota lain? If they can answer you back, because they are visual learners. Because the copy and recopying your notes will help them to study better. Sometimes they put as some kind of a little fan, macam kipas gitu kan, notes kan, before entering the examination hall. So this kind of a visual learners. They do some kind of mind mapping kan, right back in terms in the shape of a mind map. So this is what visual learners always do. Okay, AB, you have competitors. A. And question number 11, listening to music helps these learners to focus better when they study. Let's see how many of you can get right for this question. This is a very tricky question. Yes. Okay. There's a saying in Malay, ramalanku benar belaka. Okay. Most of you answer auditory sebab fikir apa? Listening. Tengok doktor tu pun gelak dah, Doktor Kuriati gelak dah. Listening to music. Bila dengar listening je, terus letak auditory. Walhal, I'll put here, listening to music help these learners to focus better when they study. Not listening to lecture, listening to other things. So it's a multitasking. So kinesthetic learner study geography, study calculus, tapi dengar lagu kan, benda lain, dengar any other lectures, they can do it because they are kinesthetic learners. Doctors kan, sambil tu dia dengar husband dia tengah cakap kan, wife dia, abang nanti ni, tapi sambil tengah bedah kan, boleh buat, tak ada masalah. Okay.
Dr. Kamimi.
Ya, saya.
Just nak tanya, tapi ia melibatkan pendengaran kan?
Betul, melibatkan pendengaran. Cuma yang ni saya cuba divert, listening to kinesthetic learners ni, they are good in doing multi-purpose. Maknanya, kalau auditory learners, they need to listen to the learning resources in order to help them to focus better. Tapi kinesthetic learner ada up one level sikit, dia boleh buat benda lain, dengar benda lain, tapi buat study benda lain.
So that's mean kalau let's say for example like visual learner, auditory learners, dia focus on one thing only lah.
Okay. If you are visual learners, they are focusing on one thing, but it's very unique of human being whereby we can have more than one. Maybe Dr. Azhar, you are kinesthetic learners, and at the same time you are visual and auditory. But which one is dominant and recessive?
I see. So that's mean macam like kinesthetic just now is a multitask punya person lah, kind of person.
Betul. Yes.
So that is the keyword dia lah, multitask.
Ya, sebenarnya I nak letak lain lah, sambil saya nak letak cooking sebenarnya. Cooking apa, studying while cooking can help the study better, tapi
that one obviously kinesthetic tu.
Itu obviously, tapi saya cuba nak letak sikit dia punya apa, orang kata distractor, then I put listening.
Memang habis. Tak ada seorang pun dapat jawab ni.
Okay, that's why kita sometimes when we look at our student kan, we always say, apalah you ini pun tak boleh jawab kan. Sebenarnya student dia nervous nak jawab kan. When they would like to answer the examination, it's not that they cannot understand, but sometimes of the nervous and simple ni, okay nampak di sini terus nak jawab kan. So it is very normal lah to human being. And alhamdulillah saya punya ni. That's why I put it as a 11 question. Kalau ada betul kat sini, memang member saya boleh post hadiah ke UNIMAS lah. Tapi it's okay because we just do it for fun. Alright, so let's see who's on the podium. Okay, Dr. K number 3rd place, and Dr. AB 2nd place, and Dr. A. Okay, may I know who's Dr. A?
Saya.
Oh, Dr. Azhar. Okay.
Kita pernah jumpa juga dulu, Doktor. Saya one of the participant Dilat.
Oh, Dilat. Okay, Dr. Azhar.
2017.
I think that that time you are Deputy Dean, right?
Yes. Sekarang tak ada lagi dah.
Okay, alhamdulillah. Alright. Okay. What can you see from the video, ladies and gentlemen? Other than student dancing.
Different ways in engaging with the students.
Okay, go on. Right. What else?
Ini some kind like apa nama nak kata warm up lah untuk masuk kelas mula-mula kan, so that they are very excited lah. I think lah.
Okay, to create the interest for
Yes,
students.
yeah.
Yes, okay. Right, good warm up. Okay.
Seems like ice-breaking activities with the student. It is.
Right. Ice-breaking activity with student, yes. Right. So if we can see, this is kind of how this teacher feel that it's get connected and engaged with the student. And some of them, and it shows that student has their own learning preferences. Kan? Kalau lah if the lecturers ask the student to do one tagline only, okay, you second same, third same, student will also follow, but they will get bored easily, right? But right now, lecturers or the teachers, this teacher has the student has been given the autonomy to choose their own tagline. And the challenge would be the teacher must memorize, but I think he will memorize after 2 or 3 weeks lah, kan? And I don't ask UNIMAS lecturer to dance in front of your class. No. Okay, don't dance in front of your WebEx. Okay, but the thing is, you need to know about your student, their learning, the different learning preferences, different in their learning preferences, and we must try our level best to enhance and to entertain their differences. So in this particular setting, okay, in this particular issue would be the learning preferences, whereby whether they are coming from visual learners, kinesthetic learners, tactile learners, logical learners, special mathematics learners. Okay, so we need to acknowledge this. If you can acknowledge the learning preference of your student, then the engagement will come later on easily, inshallah. Right, this is another picture. Okay, Dr. Dayang and Dr. Mazlina, maybe you have watched, you have seen this picture before. Okay, this is some kind of a buffet in a restaurant or in a hotel. Maybe I guess we have 100 dishes or more in this picture. Okay, make us hungry right now. Okay, one auntie came to this restaurant, and when her daughter asked her, "Mama, nak makan apa? What do you want to eat?" Surprisingly, the mama replied, "I don't know what to eat." Okay, the question is, why? Why mama replied, "I don't know what to eat"? Ladies and gentlemen, please.
Because the food is not her preference.
Okay, because the food is not her preference. Okay, good. Do you have any response back? Too many food. Banyaknya makanan, tak tahu nak makan apa. Let me see if is there any response in the chat box. Okay, not yet. Okay. To cut a long story short, 12 PM already. So the doctor asked back, "Mama, we have 100 or more dishes right here, but some more you don't know what to eat. Why?" Because as I mentioned by Dr. Mazlina just now, it's not just because I don't know what to eat, but the set of food here does not fit with my requirement. I want only plain rice and some ikan pakasam and sambal belacan. There's no sambal belacan here. We have sushi, we have salami, we have Arabian food, we have bread, but I cannot find. I find myself hard to find sambal belacan. So the moral of the story here, even though we have more than 100 dishes in this restaurant, but none of them really suits with the requirement of mama. Okay, so in our educational setting, of course, let's see, oh, Dr. Hamimi, how's your class? Okay lah, I have share 160 videos with my student, okay? 5 journals and 50 articles. What else do you want? Oh, right. But the student answer, none of them really benefit us. Why? Because it doesn't fit with our requirement. It doesn't fit with our needs. And in some other case, okay, if you can refer to the picture, this is some kind of colors of scarf that my wife has in her wardrobe, okay? And one day before COVID, we would like to visit some wedding ceremony, and my wife complained to me, Abang, I don't have tudung to wear to this wedding ceremony. I was stunned at that time, and I asked her, what? From leaves green, paling kiri atas, far left, down to tangerine orange, you don't know what to wear to wedding ceremony? Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, why? High effectively educators kan, we always talk about why kan. Why? Banyak tudung lah. But still, I don't have the scarf to wear to the wedding ceremony. So the question is why? Okay, as mentioned by Dr. Mazrina lah kan. Okay, the wedding ceremony, okay, the theme color of the wedding ceremony is another color between yellow highlight pen and milky orange. There's another tone there. I don't remember. I don't want to remember the color, you know. Ada satu color lagi between, there's another color between yellow highlight pen and milky orange. So that's the theme of the wedding ceremony. So I just tell my wife, okay lah, if you combine yellow highlight pen and milky orange as one scarf, can ah? Cannot. Okay. So even though we have so many scarf in our wardrobe, our saris, our blouse, our shirts, but it does not mean that it really fits with the requirement of our environment. So when they tell me, Dr. Hamimi, learning preferences, learning style is just a myth, Dr. Hamimi, I can say, why I'm wearing gray, Dr. Mazrina is wearing black. Why Dr. Mazrina is not wearing grey as me if you say that learning preferences are myth? Okay, if you can find from Google, learning preferences is just a myth. There are many scholars that tell us that learning preferences are just myth. Okay, and I'm against it because we have our own preferences because we are human beings. Okay, so this style of learning, we have more than 7. We have visual learners, solitary learners, oral or auditory learners. We have social, interpersonal, physical or kinesthetic. You prefer using your body, hands and sense of touch. No, saya cakap ni pun tangan nak bergerak-gerak kan. Verbal, you prefer using words, both in speech and writing. Kalau WhatsApp tu, text punya tak suka. Guna voice. You always use voice chat in your WhatsApp. Okay. Local and mathematical, you prefer using logic, reasoning, and systems. Okay, so these are the famous 7 styles of learning. And okay, Dr. Mazrina, maybe you can share this because we have shortage of time. bit.floocls. This is the survey that we can use in our class and share with your student. It's a memletic style. After you finish with these 70 items, you can find a very good spider web, and you can find yourself from there, whether you are more into visual or logical or oral or verbal or solitary or physical. Okay, so do share with your student. Normally, in the first class of mine, I will share this with my student. So from there, I will know already how many percentage from my student is auditory, visual, kinesthetic, and tactile learners. So from there, I will arrange back my educational resources for them. So normally I'll put some kind of buffet in my class. When I share with them videos, let's say I have 70 visual learners, 30 tactile learners. So I will share a video and I will share a PDF also. So normally I will say, okay, this is for this is from my student Fatima and the gang. And the gang means Fatima and the other visual learners. And this is for Ahmad and the gang. So that means for the so they see, oh, when they come to your restaurant, even though the food is not as much as you have, like 100 dishes, ada nasi, ada sambal belacan, ada ikan perkasam. Oh, the dish is not that much, but it really suit with my requirement and needs. Okay. All right. So if you have this kind of restaurant, okay, when customer come, okay, they have the food menu set A, B, and C. So this food menu will be cooked by the chef. When they receive the customer order, they will prepare the ingredients, way to cook, okay, whether you want to rebus, you want to boil, you want to fry, you want to bake, okay, and use the instrument. So you will distribute or you will produce a very good food buffet. And this food buffet will be validated by Master Chef, okay, and you must put tagging. Because in buffet, normally people will ask, ini kambing ke daging? And then second, people will come, kambing ke daging? Third, kambing ke daging? Dr. Mazlina pun pening nak jawab kan? Then, why not you just put here, tagging, kari kambing. So when people come cross by, they will see, oh, kambing, okay, senang, easy for them. So in education setting, we can always adapt and adopt these few things. The same thing, when learners as a customer, they go to the memletic learning style assessment that I shared just now. When you acknowledge your student, whether they are kinesthetic, they are auditory, or they are visual learners. So as a learning designers in the faculties, we will start prepare the content, the pedagogy, whereby you want to go for problem-based learning, student-centered, you want to go for heutagogy, you want to go for inquiry-based learning, problem-based learning, and then you talk about the technology. Okay, some of the people will prefer to talk about the technology first. No, please talk about content, discuss about pedagogy first, and then technology will come later on. Okay, so when you have the learning buffet in your class, okay, you have the for style A, style B, and C. Validation as a master chef, as a SME, we will do some kind of validation and put some kind of tagging, physics, calculus, anatomy, basic anatomy. This is one for year 2, year 3, year 4, and so on and so forth. So your learning buffet for flipped learning or flipped classroom would be a very good one. And this learning buffet, you can beef up and top up from semester to another semester. Okay, so this would be my last slide for this afternoon. So don't forget, we have a Ganye 9 event of instruction. Okay, when you start your flipped learning or flipped classroom, make sure introduction gain some attention. So like this teacher did just now, he does do the tagline to present, and you can start your learning activities by present a dilemma, analogy, and video, maybe in class or outside class. Okay. Inform them the learning outcome and stimulate recall and prior knowledge. Okay, last week we have learned about this. Last semester we have learned about this. And then you present a new content. Somehow I can see a few new lecturers, when they come to class, Assalamualaikum, and start to present new content straight away. No, you must gain attention, inform learning outcome, and stimulate recall prior. This is what we emphasize in their mock teaching or in their micro teaching. Okay, present new content and provide guidance. Don't forget to provide guidance, not just Google je, just Google it, but provide guidance. Okay, and don't forget, after we will discuss a little bit furthermore, we will discuss further in our series number 2, about how can we provide the learning activities, provide feedback to assess learning, and to enhance retention and transfer. So I guess that's all for me for series 1. Hope to see everyone in the series 2. Okay, over to you, Dr. Mazina. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and thank you.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Before we end our session, do you have any questions, participants? We allow 1 or 2 questions before we dismiss our workshop for today. All right, okay. So I guess there is no question from participants. So I would like to conclude our session. Thank you very much for insightful and informative sharing, Associate Professor Doctor. So I hope that this sharing valuable for all participants to align your online class to be interesting and creative through flipped learning. And then I would like to cite a few points, important points from today's session. Before we plan our class, we have to ensure that we know about our student learning style. This is very important. This is the key important point as well from Associate Professor Doctor. And at the same time, we also as a teachers, as an instructor, as a lecturers have to provide the knowledge to the student before we proceed with any plan in the class, whether any what we call if we want to use any journal article, any video, so please provide the prior knowledge to the student before we proceed with any activities, any tools that we are going to use in the class. So with that, I would like to end our session for today, Doctor. Thank you very much on behalf of KAM. InsyaAllah next week kita jumpa lagi untuk second series. So by then, thank you very much to all participants as well for your time and your participation for today's session.